Hi, I'm Nikki, and welcome to my channel, Nikki's Cozy Chaos. This channel is about books, Legos, hobbies, motherhood, and real life. It's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be optimized, just how it is. I wanted my first video to be a proper introduction on who I am and what this space is going to be all about. I'm a mom of three, and I had my first son when I was 19, so my adult life started really early. I spent my entire 20s taking care of him, trying to graduate college, finding a job, and all the adult responsibilities, and I kind of lost myself in all of that. I was really in survival mode. And don't get me wrong, I love my children. I regret none of it, but I wanted to find who I was outside of being a mom and working. I have ADHD, so I've always been into different type of hobbies, but really in my 30s is when I started to dive into hobbies more than I ever had before. Reading, Legos, cross stitch, anything creative, things I can do with my hands, and slowing down and spending that time with myself is where I really started to find an identity outside of being a mom. Not as side hustles, not to be productive, just taking those slow moments and being intentional with my time and my focus because it helped me to regulate, reconnect with myself, and slow down from the chaos of everyday life. Hobbies help me feel like a person outside of productivity, outside of responsibilities, just to be with myself. And that's become really important to me. And that's where the name Cozy Chaos came from. The cozy is those calm, quiet moments, reading a book, it's quiet hobbies, just those intentional, slow moments for myself. But then there's the chaos of being a mom, working, chaotic schedules, kids' activities, all the things that come with being an adult. Both exist at the same time. So that's what this channel is about. Not escaping real life, but really embracing it. It's about making space for it. It's about finding those cozy moments when things feel chaotic and busy and imperfect. I rotate hobbies, I take breaks, and I give myself permission to put things down and come back to them later. Since it's the start of the new year, I've been thinking a lot about how I want to approach my hobbies and my attention in this upcoming year. So, my theme for this year is presence over performance, just to be present in the moment, just to be with myself. So, one of my main goals this year is to finish my Game of Thrones cross stitch. I recently did a 9-day sprint to get Arya done so that I have the four ladies done. And this year I want to finish the four guys, so one a quarter. I've also recently got into knitting, so I want one of my goals to be to finish the step by step sweater by Florence that's going to fit me. I also want to try 3 new hobbies this year, and I use the word try loosely. It basically just means that I want to not just buy the supplies or research it like my ADHD brain qualifies as trying, actually spending the time to do a couple sessions to get into the hobby to see if I actually like it. And I want to spend hobby time overall throughout this year at least 30 minutes, 4 days a week, making it intentional, but not intense and super focused. Just making sure I dedicate that time outside of everything else that's going on in my life. As you can probably tell by my bookshelf, my anchor hobby is reading. So I do have some intentional reading goals that I am setting for myself this year. First, my Kindle's going to take a bit of a sabbatical. I focused a lot on ebooks last year and I want to read more of my physical books. So my only exception to the Kindle rule is if my favorite author, Jacquel J, drops her books because she mostly just drops them on Kindle first. Next, my overall reading goal is 24 books. This last year, I read 73, but I felt like I was rushing towards the end just to get the number up. So I really want to be intentional and slow with my reading goal. So I just set it for 2 a month so I can spend the time to actually dig into stories and really envelop myself into the world and not just rush and read through books and books and books. I also want to read one chunky book a quarter. I have Alchemize and Stephen King's It, which are 1,000-page books. And with a high reading goal, like 70 plus, I feel like I didn't take that time last year to actually spend to read those books because it would take me a couple weeks or maybe a month to get through them. So once a quarter, I would like to read a chunky book and really get into those stories as well. And then my last reading goal is to annotate one book a quarter. I had never done annotating, but I feel like it's one of those things that would force me to slow down and get into the story. I feel like with annotating, I would actually sit with my thoughts as I'm reading books, tabbing, highlighting, writing down little notes as I go. So once a quarter, I would like to do that. And a lot of these goals really comes back to where I'm putting my attention and my focus. So I want to drastically reduce my screen time. Right now, especially in the last month or so, it's been about 9 to 10 hours a day with almost half of that being on TikTok. So I really want to focus on getting the overall number down, but really focusing on how much time and what I'm doing on TikTok. Not just doom scrolling, but making sure I'm scrolling with intention. I also want to reduce the scrolling during like transition moments when I'm waiting for dinner to get done, if I'm in carpool. Those moments should be replaced with reading or getting a couple stitches of my cross stitch or just anything that's just not mindlessly scrolling on my phone. All of these goals are not hard, fast rules, but I do have one non-negotiable rule is that if any of these goals conflicts with how I self-regulate in moments of anxiety or depression or anything else like mental wise, I can bend any of these rules to fit me. So on this channel, you'll see reading vlogs, Lego builds, hobby progress, real life updates. I'm not promising perfection or consistent uploads. What I am promising is honesty, slow moments in real life. So if you enjoy slow hobbies, reading, Legos, people trying new hobbies, then you might find your home here. I'd really love to know what you guys' goals are for the year, hobbies wise, intention wise, anything you want to share below, even if it's just one, especially if they're about being intentional with your time and intentional with finding you. So thank you for watching my intro video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.